Welcome everyone to today's webinar on why am I always so tired. So let's start off by understanding what is the similarity between physical tiredness and emotional or mental tiredness, right? So if we think about it, when does the body really get tired? When do we feel exhausted? When does the body feel exhausted? Indeed, it is when the body has done an intense workout, right? A lot of work, physically intense work, and it did not get enough rest. So, indeed, tiredness is caused when something is being churning and churning, and there has not been enough rejuvenation or rest, right? So now, if we think about it, what is it that is working very hard? When we feel emotionally drained, mentally exhausted, something must be working very hard. So it's important to understand what that is, because at least for physical tiredness, we can experience it and find it out very quickly. The whole body is feeling strained and our eyes are almost shutting off. So there are many symptoms through which we can quickly catch that the body is tired, is not feeling very energetic. And we know how to get the rest, right? Either take a nap, drink a lot of fluids, have some good nutritious food, just rest, not do too much work. So we know how to take care when we are physically tired. But do we really know what to do when the emotions, when the mentally we are completely exhausted? What do we do then? Do we know how to take care? So let's understand first of all, what does it mean to be emotionally tired? What is it that is working very hard? Indeed, it is our mind that is working non-stop, and that really sarcastic image there where we feel like shooting ourselves and literally telling the mind to stop. It's going too fast, yet we don't know. We don't know how to make it stop. How do we slow it down? How do we really get rest for the mind? Because it's creating too many thoughts, and those thoughts are not even different. They're the same vicious cycle kind of thoughts. And we, majority of us, don't know how to quieten the mind, right? So then, even after getting 8 hours of sleep, we get up early in the morning and feel like we didn't get any sleep. We could use few more hours. So the body got rest. The body actually doesn't need too much rest, but it is the mind that needs rest. And yes, during sleep, the speed of the thoughts reduce, but it's not silent. If in the night before going to bed, I was creating too many thoughts and somehow or the other took some pills or, late night, finally I fell asleep. But I had not quietened the mind. The mind was working still very hard. So the speed of the mind reduces in the sleep, yet it didn't quieten down. So morning I get up, I continue to feel exhausted. So, this is something that many of you might know. If not, this was eye-opening for me when I found out the first time. How many thoughts are we creating per minute? And you can Google it up or go to any other resources that you rely on. And when we are normal, emotionally doing okay, I think completely stable, it's very rare for us to really feel. But when we are feeling little normal, it's 20 to 30 thoughts per minute. And the moment we are little stressed, anxious, irritated, the mind is creating 50 to 70 thoughts per minute. So this factory here is creating up to 100,000 thoughts every day. So much of creation, so much of output. This factory is constantly busy. right? And it would have been great. Suppose a factory person, a factory owner had his factory create 100,000 goods every day. And if all of them sold at a great price, profitable price, then this factory owner would be very happy, very rich, right? And oh my gosh, I produced, I created so much, and everything got sold for a lot of profit. So he's going to be very, very happy. But why don't we feel happy? We are creating so much here, right? 100,000 things we are creating here, and we are not happy. We are instead feeling very tired. So let's understand the kind of things we are creating in the mind. So there are really actually 4 types of thoughts, and I've listed 3 here. We'll talk about the 4th one also. Positive, I think pretty self-explanatory. We all know about it. You know, when anything that is filled with a lot of comfort, you know, comfort like peace is comfortable, respect for others is comfortable, wanting to help others, these kind of thoughts are very positive. Negative, again, I think very explanatory, self-explanatory. We all know it. When we are irritated, when we are fearful, when we are stressed, or we are plotting against someone, we are thinking negatively about others, they all make us very uncomfortable. Those are negative thoughts. And then the 3rd category, necessary thoughts, which each one of us has to kind of create to plan, right? We are all responsible for many things in life, for our family, at work, maybe we are a student. So there are many necessary thoughts to keep ourselves organized and thorough. But there is another 4th category, which I had absolutely no idea till I really joined this organization, BRAHMAKUMARIS, which is the waste category. We also create thoughts that are created and they actually bring about no change. They have no impact on anybody except me, really, in a negative manner. They just go to garbage. So it's created and moved to garbage. It's just dumped. So this creator here, I, is using my mind to create 70,000 thoughts or 100,000 thoughts. And if I find out that 90,000 of those thoughts in that day had to be garbage disposed, how will I, the creator, feel? I am working hard. Every creation is an effort, takes time and energy. And you might think, oh, what does energy does it take to create thought? No, it does. And if I am creating something that is going to be disposed, not having any impact, no use, no purpose, I am going to feel very, very sad and frustrated and tired, because through our thoughts, we are trying to change something. We are trying to bring about some impact. But these thoughts bring no change. And what are those categories? Top categories of waste thoughts are thinking about past or future or people. And why do, I mean, if you think about it, we just talked about it, right? Why do waste thought cause so much of tiredness? It's because it is our creation. You know, whether we didn't consciously realize that what am I doing, maybe we didn't consciously create it, yet the creator is creating. And we never sit and ask ourselves, I'm creating so many thoughts about the past. Can it be changed? So through my thoughts, I'm trying to change the past. Through my thoughts, I'm trying to predict and hope for a really good future, or thinking what might that future be. I'm constantly trying to control my past and future, and also people. We need to ask ourselves, can any of these things be changed? Yet I am creating so many thoughts in a vicious cycle, same and same, repeatedly. trying really hard to change that past, and maybe judge one person, constantly telling you should not be doing this, you should be behaving like this, you should be talking to me like this. I'm creating all of these thoughts, yet this person is not changing. So I, the creator, even though I've not spoken a single word, I feel frustrated because I feel I've been trying very hard to change you and you're not changing. So I feel tired and exhausted. That's so much hard work. I tried. I put so much time in thinking and thinking and thinking, yet that past did not get fixed. The future is not as it was planned by me. And those people that I was desperately trying to change did not change. So it's so important to realize our every action, what is the profit and loss from it. This understanding really inspires and motivates us to change, right? So for example, for me, typically if somebody would come with a problem or some kind of a task, I would typically be able to give many ideas quickly. Within a minute, I would come up with 5, 7 ideas, sometimes 10, 15 ideas, right? Very quickly it would come out. But then there were days where somebody would come and tell me, Meghna, hey, this needs to be done. What do you think? What is the best option? And there would not be a single option that would come out of me, as if there is nothing inside that I can give. Completely drained out. Why? Because now if I think back and reflect at those moments, most likely I had been creating a lot of waste. If this mind is busy in creating waste, there is no way I can be a creative person. If I'm creating garbage, I have no room for actual powerful creation. So creativity comes from cleanliness, from clarity of mind, from stability of mind. But if this mind is unstable, creating garbage, creativity, one of our biggest qualities of human beings, no other beings in this world have it. We are special, we are creative people. And thoughts are the way through which we create. And if that powerful tool called thought is being wasted, I lose my creativity. And because I'm working so hard creating garbage and I'm not seeing any change, a part of me starts dying. I start losing power because, I'm creating something and nothing is changing. So I start losing confidence in the self. My enthusiasm that, man, I can bring about a change is gone. Because I've seen repeated trying hard to change certain things, they are not changing. And this, another big tragedy from this waste thoughts category is there might have been few things that went wrong in the past, maybe some big things. And maybe even future looks very uncertain and there are too many things that I need to do for future. And maybe there are some difficult people in my life. But who doesn't have such issues? There's not a single one. I have to focus on what do I have in the present. If I'm going to be stuck in the past or future, can I really enjoy what I really have now? I at least have maybe few good relationships. I at least have maybe work to focus on. And maybe I have a decent house and family. Whatever that might be present, there is always something to look forward to. But if I'm going to be stuck in the past, then there's nothing. Right? Indeed, trying to change something that does not change increases frustration, causes exhaustion and tiredness, and mind starts feeling very heavy, and life, instead of feeling like a boon, feels like a burden. So there are few things that we do that actually increase waste thoughts. And it's important to be aware what are certain things, what are certain behaviors, actions that sustain waste thoughts, not only sustain, but they increase them day by day. Many times we indulge in them, we invite them. It's a rainy weather, we start going to some past incident, or we listen to some old tragic song, we start going to our past, and then that incident comes, we sit with it, we welcome it, we invite it, and we start engaging with that guest from the past. We keep thinking, what else happened? What else bad happened? This is called indulging in something that you cannot change. Junk food might be tasty, but it is really unhealthy. These waste thoughts are junk thoughts. They feel tasty to whom? The ego, which says, I was right in the past. People wronged me. The world wronged me. That ego is getting satisfied and it's finding these thoughts very tasty. But I need to also use my logical mind and say, should I really be indulging and satisfying my ego at the cost of getting depressed? At the cost of not being able to change it at all, at the cost of being stuck forever, suffering forever? This is something I need to ask myself. Yes, the mind will keep traveling, but should I not be educating the mind? Instead, I'm indulging, sitting there, encouraging those thoughts to come. And worse, many times we'll go and talk to people about it. We'll let them know what all happened. We think, our ego says, no, we are going and telling them so that they can advise, tell us if we are wrong. Actually, no. We are going there to get some validations, certifications that indeed you are such a sweet person, Meghna. Bad things have happened to you. So now I was creating waste, I was indulging in it, and now I have caused few others to create waste on my behalf. Another belief system that it's impossible to control the mind, to slow down the mind, to stop the mind. This is, to me, a huge myth, an incorrect belief system. Mind can be controlled. It's my mind. I own it. I am the master. But if I think, no, I can't, it's not, if I become its servant, act like a subservient to this mind, then yes, it's going to do whatever it wants. I have never tried to educate it, stop it, control it. And that is why it is running faster and faster day by day. But there is a way, and many people have been able to reduce the speed or bring it to a full hard stop. Now, how do we stop waste thoughts, right? So really an analogy of a fast car. This is the analogy we are given at BRAHMAKUMARIS. So everything I'm sharing here is all I have learned. This is not my knowledge, absolutely, right? I'm just sharing some of my experiences, but such a beautiful, powerful example is given that a fast car, right? If a car is going very fast, how can you prevent it from an accident? Suppose suddenly you see another car or a person or a roadblock. Two options, right? If I have enough distance, I can put a brake, stop it. Sometimes I'm too close. The only option is to steer away. So now this mind that is working very fast, running very fast, creating too many thoughts. If I have been practicing meditation, or if I've had, some experience, then yes, I'm able to apply a powerful brake thought and stop it. So thoughts can be cut only through another thought. There is no other way to stop a thought. It's very kind of mind-blowing, but you need a thought to stop a thought or to change a thought. So either you need a break thought, which is like a really powerful thought that says full stop, or I need a very wise thought that will steer the mind into a different direction. So let's go through these three categories of past, future, and people and see what are some break thoughts we can use. And I would encourage you all as a homework from this webinar to come up with your own break thoughts and steering thoughts. First of all, the first homework exercise would be, which of these three categories impact you the most? Are you impacted most by the past? Do you keep living your life in the past? Or do you keep judging and trying to change people? Or are you always thinking of this needs to be done, that needs to be done, when will this happen, when will that happen, living in the future? Figure out what is your category. And then also figure out what are those break thoughts. I'm just sharing some examples, but I, the being, is the most wise being. Our inner voice, our inner wisdom, inner guide has many ideas. So early in the morning, sit with a pencil and a paper and note down what is your going to be your powerful thought and what is going to be your steering thought. So few thoughts. So for example, you made a mistake in the past, right? Maybe you hurt someone, or maybe something you did at work was not of great quality. Maybe you made a fool of yourself in a presentation, whatever that was, bring it up, right? And for break thought, really, this will take time. It takes a lot of practice. Just like physical, if I want to see physical changes, I have to exercise the body every day, give it healthy food, not a 1 day thing or a 1 week thing or a 1 month thing. It requires constant investment for the body to be healthy. Similarly, if I want my mind to be fully in my control, someone who follows my directions, I have to work on it. Immediately, I won't be able to apply break. So some break thoughts are past has passed, full stop. So every time I start thinking about that presentation, that mistake, or somebody else who did the mistake, immediately say it is done. I'm not thinking about it. I don't need to relive the uncomfortable moment. Already it was uncomfortable enough one time. I'm not going to do it again. Full stop. You'll be amazed once you start talking to your mind how much it starts cooperating. Even in the early days, the first 1 month into this practice, I could see a reduction in my waste thoughts. And even 1% to 10% reduction makes you feel so alive and energetic. It is so powerful. Yes, we might not be able to fully stop, but even reduction has a huge impact, and it gives you a hope that, oh my gosh, I can actually slow down my mind. So steering thoughts, right? What can I do? What can I really do now to fix it? Suppose your mind is not wanting to get away. Somebody did something really mean to you and it doesn't want to let it go. Okay, sit with the mind like you would sit with a child, someone who's throwing a tantrum, stubborn, right? You sit with it with full maturity and say, okay, I know you really want that. You're not giving it up. You're not letting it go. But what can we do now? Can we go back and fix it? Do you want to go and talk to that person and tell them, ask them to apologize? The mind will say, no, we can't do that. Okay, then what can you do? What can you really do? You are hurting, you are suffering, you're losing your energy, you're losing your creativity. Do you want to keep doing this? The mind says, no, I don't. Then forgive. Forgive that person so that for your own sake, not for their sake. You're not damaging them, you're damaging yourself. By forgiving, you're profiting. By punishing, you're punishing yourself. That person doesn't even know that you're punishing them. They are living a happy life. So when I start talking to my mind like this, it starts understanding right now on an autopilot mode, unconsciously, mindlessly. It's visiting the past because I'm encouraging, I'm indulging in it. So few other things, other option to steer the thought is ask the mind, okay, buddy, I agree. I agree that was a terrible past, such an uncomfortable incident. But didn't it bring any good? Didn't any good not come out of it? Sit with a pen and paper, note down how that past has enabled you to grow as an individual, what you learned from it. It is impossible that we don't learn, that we don't grow. Few more stirring thoughts. Is there anybody who's had a perfect life in this world? Everybody goes through some or the other challenges. So what? I went through few challenges in the past. Use different options and let go. Let all of these things we have trapped in our mind, let them fly. Let them out. If anybody gives us a dirty gift or a stale food, we don't keep it in the house. We say, oh my gosh, how insensitive, inconsiderate of them to give us this stale food. We throw it in the garbage. And the past, which was bitter, sour, we keep it in our most sacred place, our heart, our mind. Is that a wise thing to do? Right? So let it go. What do we do when our mind is constantly trying to change someone through our thoughts? And most of the times this is someone that is close to us, that we are interacting day in and day out. It could be our kids, our partner, our parents, our manager, our colleague, our neighbor, someone or the other. They shouldn't be doing this. I don't know why they do this. This was one category that would affect me, and I was really shocked when I started meditating and focusing on every thought, right? Keeping an eye on what is this mind creating. I would catch myself judging, generally judging people the moment I would see them. Oh my gosh, what loud makeup. Why are they talking so loudly? Do they need to be really so loud? Can't they be a little gentle? Can't they be a little quiet? Constant thoughts. Now, my thoughts are not reaching them. They are not changing. They're continuing to be. Yet I'm trying to keep creating. How will I feel? Right? So, break thoughts here are everyone has freedom to be. So, let them be. There are times when we know what is good, what is bad. Yet, if we are hell bent on doing bad, behaving bad, we don't like to be told, Meghna, don't behave like this. I decide what I want to be, how I want to be. You don't tell me what to do. This is what we would tell anyone. Then why am I trying to control others? Would I really enjoy if somebody told me, sit like this, talk like this, put makeup like this, dress like this? No. So let people be. That's my break thought. Steering. This is such a powerful technique. This is such a powerful technique that I've used with my family members a lot. On your mind, right here, with the stickiest glue, stick out some specialities of the person you're thinking about a lot, judging a lot. And note down list of qualities, talents, specialities. And maybe because they're very close and you've been so busy in noticing their weaknesses, their problems, it might not be very easy. But sit with yourself till you can at least note down 3. And if you're not able to even do 3, at least 1. And if I'm not able to do 1, then their problem is with me. Too egoistic that I can't identify a person's even 1 quality. It is impossible. It is impossible that a person does not have a single quality. Each one of us is filled with many qualities and few weaknesses. That's the fact. Right? We've been focusing on their problems, and that is why we only see problems. Early in the morning, this is the best exercise to do. Stick them here every time your mind visits. Oh my gosh, so dirty, so unclean they are. Immediately bring out their speciality here. No, but they are so wise and patient. Few other steering Your mind is again busy trying to judge someone or someone that did something terrible to you. Check what might have caused that person to behave negatively. A person who's given you a lot of pain must have gone through a lot of pain. This monster you have created in your mind cannot be a monster without damaging themselves first. One more options to steer the mind is, am I perfect? Don't I have any problems? And even if I had problems, won't I want people to forgive me? Won't I want them to give me another chance? Then why am I not giving people chance? Why am I not helping them? This is really called power to accommodate, no matter who is what kind of weaknesses they have. If I'm able to accommodate that and focus on their specialities, it actually gives the other person power to change their weaknesses. This is my experience at home. When I focus on their strengths, their weaknesses start vanishing on their own. When you're giving them so much of admiration through your thoughts, words, and actions, they can actually see their weaknesses clearly. I don't even have to spell it out because they realize they have so many specialities, and they find those weaknesses to be very uncomfortable. They will give it up on their own. Right? So we as human beings, the most elevated creation, have the ability to discriminate what is good and bad. So we know these are good qualities, these are bad qualities. This power to discern only a human being has. In animals, it's at a very low intensity level. So how am I using this power to discriminate? Am I doing something constructive? By maintaining faith in them, by encouraging them to give up their weaknesses in some way or the other? Or am I using it destructively by judging them, critical of them, and dismissing them? My choice. How do I use my power to discern? Last category of waste thoughts. There might be more. I'm just kind of focusing on the top three categories. Break thoughts for future. Constantly, this is something I think that many of us who are doing office work and housework, taking care of kids, keeping the house in shape and everything, responsible for many things, we are constantly filled with many things to do. And I'm not talking about fear, which is negative, that bad will happen, but really I'm talking about things where you have too many things on your plate and you're constantly, no, I need to do that also, I need to do this also, and I'm constantly rushing. My mind is just not able to do what it is doing in the present. It is constantly pushing, Meghna, you need to do that also. So it's rushing me. So I need to sit with the mind and face it and say, hey, buddy, I already know that there are 100 more things to do. We will get it all done, but one thing at a time. I have done hundreds of things many times in the past. I will do it again today. So don't get excited, mind. Let's slow down. So I need to face the mind which is constantly trying to drive me crazy. Right? And sometimes I've made a decision that I'm going to do this, but it keeps creating thoughts. But what about this? Should we consider this option? Maybe no. How about that option? Even silly things like I might have made up my mind I'm going to wear this tomorrow. The mind will say, how about that one? Maybe that one will be better. I need to tell my mind, decision has been made, no more. I don't need to think it again. It's done. Otherwise, if I don't tell anything to my mind, it will keep on creating garbage. Now, sometimes when the mind is again getting carried away, how do we steer it into the present? Really, like we just talked about. Let me focus on what I'm doing, the task I'm doing now. I can only do one thing at a time. Multitasking, there are many studies which are saying is very, very harmful. It produces very poor quality of work, causes the body to strain out, and the mind loses its focus and concentration. Right? So Constantly tell your mind when it's reminding you of 100 things, tell, okay, which one do you want to work at now? This is the one we picked, so let's finish this. Let's enjoy this task of sitting with the family and having a quiet dinner. We will do everything else later. Let me enjoy the present, right? So, um, few other things to take care, because if we don't take care, if we don't create a program for our mind, literally we are taught to create a schedule. What are you going to think? So when you're driving to work, nowadays we don't, but these kind of activities where you're exercising, running, jogging, laundry, anything that doesn't require the intellectual participation, right? Something that is pretty mundane. Those times the mind gets busy. It'll go to past, future, people, blah, 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 blah. So the waste thought production increases. At that particular point, if I plan early in the morning, we plan, right? What am I going to do today? What am I going to wear? What am I going to eat? What am I going to cook? Everything is organized. Let's also put some time. What am I going to think today? So this is possible only when I'm exposing my mind to powerful knowledge every day. So at Brahmakumaris, we have a Murali class, which is nothing but a spiritual discourse every day. Our really dear teacher Kusum Didi conducts these classes and gives our students also an opportunity to conduct. Every day religiously, we all study knowledge. It's the powerful food, healthy organic food for the mind. If I have not given any food to the mind, if only been giving junky food to the mind, it's only going to produce junk. It's going to be busy thinking about all the garbage things. But if I have now started providing my mind powerful knowledge, then now when I am driving, when I am exercising, when I am doing laundry, I can actually churn on what I read. How powerful was that thought? How am I going to apply it in my life? For example, when I get up very early in the morning, my morning, like making breakfast and tea and all of that, that time I am sending good wishes to people. I will bring up my family people, people I know are kind of going through a tough phase, my neighbors, my colleagues. Slowly, I'm sending good wishes one by one. Let me send good wishes to the nature so that my mind is engaged and I am controlling where you are going to be. You are not going to keep running here and there. I'm your parent. I'm going to tell you what to do. You are an infant. You don't know what is good for you. I, your parent, is wise, mature. I will guide you. So really, even when we are doing something, our mind could be thinking about the future. Will people like it? What will they say? I'm working hard. What if nobody likes it? What if this doesn't come out as good? Or I could be busy in thinking, oh my gosh, I have received so much in life. What else can I want? Right? So really, it's up to me. So that is what we call karma yoga, meditation in action, either churning knowledge, sending good wishes to people, or connect to the supreme powerhouse, the divine himself. If I don't do that, my mind has to, there is no way to stop the mind. I can only channelize it to a more healthy place. Now, this is one thing that let's practice it as an exercise today. This is something that we practice in Brahmakumaris. We call it traffic control or mind drill, where we say, mind, for many years, I didn't take care of you. I didn't realize that I'm your parent and you're my real young baby. I let you loose and you went and did whatever you wanted. You become very stubborn. But now I realize I'm your parent. I need to hold your hand and guide you. I need to exercise my control over you. And control is a strong word. We use educate. I need to educate you. What is right, what is wrong. So how do we do this? Like throughout the day, there are many apps. You can use alarms where every hour or so, let that app remind you. It's time to do an exercise for the mind where I practice educating the mind right now. I am guiding you to go here. I want you to start thinking about this. And yes, in the beginning, obviously anything that you start new seems uncomfortable because we like same thing, old thing, habituated thing. But now we know habituated thing, which is easy, is causing a lot of trouble in our life, right? We saw what is the damage of waste thoughts. So yes, it is easy. But do I want an easy thing that's going to damage me? Or do I want to try this new thing, which is actually not hard? We just like to label everything that is new hard. I just have to say it is new and different. But once I get used to it, which within a week you will see a huge difference. Every day you will see a huge difference. That now you are actually able to gain control back. Otherwise, the mind will be jumping like a monkey from one branch to another. It will drive you crazy. So let's take the reins back and say, no, I'm going to ride you. I'm going to tell you. I'm going to guide you because I know better. Right? With this mind drill exercise, our concentration increases because now we are able to control the mind and channelize it to whatever direction I want. And our power to stop the thoughts or steer the mind increases because we are exercising this right over our mind regularly. If I say, oh, once in a month I will try this, it's not going to work. I need to do this on a regular basis. And just few minutes of investment will give you actually hours back. That's been my experience. With this exercise, my focus and concentration has increased so much. My judgment of people has reduced significantly. It's almost non-existent. When you become so healthy and think good about others, your relationship changes amazingly. Your focus increases means what? You're not going to make too many mistakes in your work. So am I getting hours back or am I losing time by spending time in this? It's one of the most wise investment anybody could make. Right? So the exercise we are going to do, just few instructions for it is, our exercise is to make the mind create certain thoughts that will enable us to experience certain emotions. So we are the creator of emotions, right? Now, if I want to experience peace, I should be able to experience it whenever I want. Indeed, the end goal is that this peace should never go away. It should always be natural and it will become, but I have to start by exercising control back, right? So the first drill will be to create certain thoughts so that peace is felt, where we will take the mind to different places. And how do you take the mind? I mean, right now you're sitting here. If I say, take your mind to your hometown, to your young childhood home, you can, right? The image will be as clear as if you're right there. The mind has this ability to travel anywhere. It's much faster than a rocket. So we will use this ability of the mind to visit places through visuals. We will create pictures in our mind wherever so whatever thoughts I'm saying out loud, create pictures for it. Because pictures generate emotions. The heart gets activated. If you do meditation like a boring, I am peaceful soul, I'm happy, I should be happy, There's nothing. Your mind will, after a while, say, give up. It will almost feel like a robotic effort. When the heart activates, starts creating pictures, and it experiences something, your focus will be there, right? So after we are done with peace, we will take the mind to create love and experience love, right? And then the third drill will be to create purity, experience selflessness. This is who we are, completely clean, fresh, pure energy. So let's experience our quality by creating thoughts, right? So I'm hoping you all are sitting on in a very comfortable position, and let's guide our mind to create the emotions we want it to. So here I go with the thoughts, and I'm going to again put some background music. You might not be able to hear it, but that is fine too. We can still do it in silence. Let's take few deep breaths and move away from this current place. And let's, through our mind, fly away to a beautiful white sandy beach island. The water is crystal clear. I've never seen something so beautiful. Nature at its best. The sun is slowly rising. This is such a beautiful picture. It is echoing the qualities that I, the spirit, possesses: serenity, calm, and peace. A gentle breeze is blowing away my hair. The soothing sun is warming my skin. And the gentle sound of waves is a music to my ears. I step into the water. The cool water feels so good. The soft sand. Indeed, I, the Creator, has been able to create peace, my natural quality. Now I guide my mind to go back to my really childhood days, where I was loved by my parents, uncles, aunts, and grandparents, hugged, lifted, sat in their lap, slept in their lap. So much love, so many warm meals on the table, so many family gatherings. So much of selfless love was bestowed on me. I, the parent of my mind, can also love it by constantly taking care not neglecting it when it is saying, I'm in trouble, I am stressed, I am irritated. No. I, the parent, don't neglect my child. I have a concern. I care for it. I love my mind. Let's guide the mind to experience purity, selflessness. Visualize yourself as an angel filled with white light and take off from here and fly away with your magical wand and wings. Let's fly to all the continents of the world one by one, and through our magical wand, bless every being of this world. Nature only gives. The sun gives shine, light and warmth, irrespective of who that person is. Flower gives its fragrance and color to every person who walks by. Wind gives its comfort, its coolness to every being it touches. Nature does not judge, it gives and gives. And I, the most elevated creation, also gives. Every being in this webinar is filled with divinity and vitality. Every being in my city is filled with divinity and vitality. Every being in our world is filled with divinity and vitality. Sending positive vibes to the 5 elements: nature, earth, fire, sky, water, and air. All right, so that was pretty much the mind drill exercise. And, this was just an example to show how we, the creators, can create whatever we want. At Brahmakumaris, though, we actually take a journey. We take the mind to the world of silence, nirvana, the supreme spiritual world, where the divine himself, the supreme being, resides, right? And it's only the supreme soul that is the powerhouse filled with love, peace, happiness, power, wisdom. And I, the soul, has become weak, and I need power to guide my mind, to exercise control over my mind. So we basically, through our mind, travel to the spiritual world, connect to the supreme soul, charge ourselves up and come back. For me, a person who used to struggle in judging myself a lot, going through guilt, judging others and being critical of them, has reduced it significantly. It's very rare that I will judge myself or others. this has not come about just through 6 years of exercise, of meditation, really, but the main power is connecting to the divine. We, the souls on our own, cannot change very fast. We need a companion, a powerhouse, right? So with that, we pretty much come to the end of the presentation. I want to quickly kind of go through our organization. Many of you who've joined us before, this might be a repetition, so please bear with the next few slides. Brahmakumaris, a non-profit spiritual organization, has global presence, present in many, many countries, has many centers, and we have over 1 million active members, right, practicing meditation. This organization is not a new one. It's been around for 83 years now. And the main intention of this organization is really to help individuals in transforming their life to become a lot more selfless, and how when individuals change, the world automatically changes. So really the main motto is world transformation through self-transformation. And our center here at Milpitas, we have an active, really very crowded center, I would say. 200 plus people attend a spiritual discourse regularly. Obviously now during COVID, everything is online. But we did meet before COVID. We are so fortunate to have a very kind, loving, and a wise teacher, Didi Kusum, who's been managing this center at Milpitas for the last 25 years. She's someone who surrendered her life to this godly service. It's been 38 years of selfless sacrifice, where she's only been living her life for others. She doesn't have any agenda of her own. And we, many times, myself, when I have some issues, either personally or even spiritually or at work, she's the one that we all reach out to. It's hard to do all of this on your own, but if you have someone who's so experienced, like Kusum Didi, it becomes very easy. So for me, she's really like a mother, more than a Didi. She's really like a mother to all of us. And few announcements, this center, this Milpitas Center is giving many free classes, webinars. We used to even have free meditation retreats. But today itself, there is Raj Yoga meditation course starting at 6 o'clock. So if you haven't taken it, please do register yourself. Highly recommend it. I can't say how much this course has changed my life. Next Saturday, there is a webinar on unlocking inner powers for a blissful life. Same time at noon. And then the week after that, on July 25th, we have a real special webinar for our youth, young adults who are also going through a very challenging time, given they've not had a real graduation, they don't know if they should graduate, what is going to happen to their future career. They are going through a very tough time. So we are having a panel full of experts, really, a psychiatrist, a well-known psychiatrist, another doctor, a young adult who's used the spiritual knowledge and meditation to bring about change in their life, and a spiritual expert. So this will be a panel-based discussions where we'll encourage the youth to really ask many questions and participate. And then another thing that we do every day in the evening, we have a live guided meditation at 7:30. Then we also offer kids living values classes where there are beautiful stories told with a lot of moral values. It's very filled with pictures. And this is conducted at 10:30. Actually, the slide is slightly wrong. And then there's also art of parenting classes for parents at 2 p.m. every Sunday. And you can visit our website at brahmakumaris.org to register for any of these free events. Lastly, This organization is a non-profit organization, and I feel it's doing a mind-blowing service for the world. It has changed many people's life. It has made them much more happier and peaceful. This is, I can say, from myself and the people I know who are associated with this organization. So indeed, we need money to run this organization. So any contributions that you feel like making, we have our donation link right there, svbrahmakumaris.org/donation. We would certainly appreciate your contribution. And this is a non-profit organization. It has a 501 stamp to it. So all your contributions are tax deductible. And now some time for Q&A. So if you have any questions, please post it on the chat or on the Q&A board, and our two helpful souls will read them out to me. And they are also posting the upcoming event registration links and contact details on the chat. So please pay attention there. I'm happy to take any questions that you all might have.
Om Shanti, sister. Thank you for such a relevant and seminar with practical solutions. We have a question regarding a meditation practice, what you mentioned about creative meditation. It's from Sister Uditi. She says, in meditation practice, you also get bored and give up, etc. The routine of it. Is it natural or it's just for me? And how can we overcome and be creative? I heard you are very creative in your meditation. How can we move in that direction and being reactive and challenging mind with divine?
Very valid question, Om Shanti sister, for posing it. Indeed, we as human beings need variety. We don't even like the same kind of food, right? Same kind of clothing. We like change. So really, unless we expose the mind to a lot of powerful information, right now, again, not trying to say that you might be doing this, but many of us expose it to a lot of gadgets, news reading, and so on. So it doesn't really have any creativity to create new kinds of thoughts, new kind of experiences, right? So I would highly recommend that you have a daily practice of listening or reading to powerful knowledge, and connect with the spiritual discourse that is offered at Brahmakumaris every day. And if you don't have the details, feel free to contact us.
Thank you, sister. Also, we have, as you mentioned, daily meditation 7:30 to 8, and we are showing audio visuals there based on different topics every day. So I think that's also very creative and they can take benefit of that.
Very true.
Okay, we are getting a lot of positive comments. Thank you, sister. It's very soothing and calm for everyone. There's another question. Why we feel hopeless sometimes after being too tired?
Yeah. So like we said, right, in the mind is busy creating many thoughts and it's not seeing a change. So mind is indeed working hard. When does mind work hard? When it's creating thoughts. That's the only thing mind does. It doesn't do anything else. It has only one task, one and only one task. Create thoughts. So the creator creates, no change. So garbage, wasted, right? So part of you dies. It becomes hopeless. So yes, this will take time to change, but at least invest some time in creating thoughts which will bring a change, right? What are some things I can do in present? Can I send good wishes to people? There are many guided commentaries which will enable you to send good wishes. Then your mind feels it did something that was useful. When we create something that is useful, we feel hopeful. When we create something that causes a change, we feel hopeful. But when we create something that brings no change, yeah, we do feel hopeless.
Thank you so much, sister. So we do not have any more open questions, but People are encouraged if they can email you the questions. We have posted your email address in the chat. So if anyone has any other questions, they can please email us and we will reply to you. Thank you so much, sister.
Thank you, everyone. If you all have time, please stay for a 1-minute meditation and then we will end the webinar. I am a wise, mature, and a patient being. The words difficult, impossible, complex are not part of my dictionary. I, the powerful soul, makes impossible possible. Nothing is difficult for me. All I need is patience and practice. And I, the wise and mature parent, will be able to connect back with my child mind and have a beautiful, loving relationship. Thank you once again for